Alrighty, and we are live. Welcome to Melee and More. I am Acid. And this week we have a very special guest, good friend of mine. Very excited for this episode, and I love talking about my good friend. Introduce yourself. Sure. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Dadmilk.
Perfect. You nailed it. That's awesome.
I did a good job.
Yep. Yeah. So if you are unfamiliar with how Melee and More works, as you might be, since we took a 2-month hiatus, is that right?
Yeah, just about.
Yeah, about 2 months. So welcome back, everybody, and this is a good one to start it with. How this works is we will both be playing some Melee with Dadmilk here. First off, Dalton will be playing. I will be asking Melee-related questions. About the 30-minute mark, we'll swap. I will play some Melee, and we'll get some more related questions. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, you can't really bring up Dadmilk without bringing up Dad's house. It's kind of where you started. Not in terms of like when you started playing Melee, but it's how everyone kind of got to know you. Is that Friday night in your garage? Tell us about Dad's house.
Yeah, I originally, when I started going to Melee events, we had Salty Sundays as the weekly, but like I'm really lazy with like traveling.
Okay.
And when I got my house in Greenwood, one of the things I was looking for was like a place to play games with my friends. And since I had just started playing like Melee competitively, like not that long prior or beforehand, I decided I wanted to start doing. Well, it started as Smash Fest actually, but like I liked doing like just like friendly brackets.
Sure.
And then it just kind of turned into weeklies as more people started coming, and I moved it from inside of my house into my garage. That's it.
So that's kind of the birth of Dad's house, and that's like the technical like what it is, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like as it went from nothing to a Smash Fest to a weekly, it became so much more than that. What does Dad's house mean to you right now?
Right now?
Well, just like not even referring to the tournament series, because like Dad's house has evolved so far from just a weekly tournament, right? So what is
Discord server?
Sure, man. I'm going for like, do you like your friends? Is basically
my friends are cool. Yeah, no.
Okay.
That is actually how I met most of the people in the community. Was originally they were just strangers showing up to my house, and which was always cool. Because you never knew who you're gonna get randomly. I remember there was like one arc for like a month where there was like I don't know, he was tweaking on something, but he was like a casual, and I was just like there was one point where I was like, man, this is
Yep.
You remember that?
Yep.
I think it got to the point where like he started bringing friends who were like throwing controllers when they lose, and I was like, yeah, maybe we don't do this.
Yeah.
And I remember they would leave cigarette butts in my backyard, and I was like, hey, can you guys not do that? Like, I don't want my dogs to eat that.
Do you remember the one where MK Ultra just showed up after being inactive for like 3 years?
He showed up to one or two of them, yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
We'd get people from like out of region, like Nooch would come. That's actually how I met Nooch for the first time too. Was Nooch came from just like, I don't even remember where Nooch lived, but like they're driving like 2 hours, and just showed up one day and just like beat the shit out of everybody.
Yeah.
And then Nooch and I have had a lasting friendship ever since.
Yeah. So it's tournament series deceased, but the friendship still stays, and I think that's really
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
And actually, I did forget. At the time, we also had Blog Eye Mondays, Dukes and Bacon. Which
Oh,
is
yeah.
how I met Abe.
Yeah, and Nooch Nagy, yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, I think that's probably one of the main reasons that I stuck with Melees, because at the time, like, I don't really like talking to people at weeklies very much. I don't like doing it.
Sure.
Like, I hate when I have to like feel like I say bye to like 20 people, and
I would never do that. Yeah.
I didn't like going on like asking for friendlies when I first started, because I was like dog shit at the game, and I'm like, I don't want these people to feel like they have to, you know. It's kind of like I had very low self-confidence with the game,
Sure.
and I didn't want to like bother people, and it really wasn't until I started going to the Dukes and Bacon where I was like, oh, I'm actually like meeting people instead of like showing up, playing my matches, and then going home.
You know, like I'm not a bother. Like like these are just my friends. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Abe's fault that I'm here now.
It's a good reason. It's a good guy.
It's also Abe's fault I started RuneScape again. So honestly, the last like 7 years of my life that have been ruined, I can blame him for.
Yeah. Honestly, that's a good reason though. I'll take that. So going off of that, you had an escapade where you wanted to continue your TO journey, but you didn't want people at your house every week. At that time, you gave birth to the LRA Start series. Tell us a little bit about that.
I was doing LRA starts and dad's houses simultaneously for a while.
Yes. Yeah.
But no, I wanted something bigger than just a weekly. I gotta kill Dalbull real quick. I know. But no, I wanted something bigger than just a weekly, and I occasionally would have like paid dad's house, what I called big dad's houses.
Mm-hmm.
But I could realistically, I mean, I was fitting like 32 people, and it was a tight 32.
Yeah.
And I actually, I don't remember if it was Imder or Nico or both of them. I don't remember. Got me in touch with the guy who owned the venue that we were running the LRA starts out of, and we could fit like up to like 80 people in them comfortably. So I started doing those, but they took so much time that I didn't do like dad's houses on the days that
or like the weeks.
So yeah, the weeks that we had the weeklies, just because I didn't want to, because it was like an hour from my house, and it was like an hour from my house, and it started at like 11, so I had to get there to do the setup first.
Sure.
And then it ran until like 11, and then I had to do the takedown, and then I had an hour drive home, and it was literally just my whole Saturday, once a month, and I tried to be good about it and get it on the days I didn't have Lila.
Sure.
But it didn't always work. So like I'd always feel bad for Bree if like she had Lila by herself for like 13 hours.
Yeah. That's a commitment.
So I stopped doing the dad's houses the Fridays before, just to have more parenting time.
I mean,
guilt.
Around that time though, you were like kind of single-handedly carrying the Indianapolis scene, because it was like in the summers when the IUPUI brackets stopped happening, at least for part of the LRA. So it was a lot to shoulder, coupled with Lila was what, 2, 3 at the time?
It was probably 2018?
2019?
Yeah, so she would have been no more than 2019 would have been 3.
Yeah.
So yeah, she was I remember, dude, Bree used to send me videos of Lila when she was watching her, and she would be, that kid was a fucking terror. Just like
Yeah.
screaming, and I'm just like, haha, glad I don't have to deal with that.
You're an asshole.
I know.
Joe Heisling said I locked my keys in my car at an LRA, and Swank made fun of me.
You would do that.
But yeah, so Dad's house, LRA, and finally, online. So you kind of
Oh,
stuck
yeah.
your hand in the online realm with the Dad's House Online. What are some unique challenges that you experience with the online brackets?
So by the time the online brackets had started, I wasn't as, because I took a pretty long break from competing. At least like I'd go to some weeklies sometimes, but like I was really burnt out on Melee. I was focused on my RuneScape career.
As one does. Yeah.
So I would like wasn't familiar with the scene, like, or at least a bunch of new people at all. So like seeding and knowing, like, I remember the first one I had so many conflicts because I just didn't know these people were like.
It's like, oh,
in
this
the
is two
same-
new people, right?
Yeah. So it was just mainly like doing stuff like that was new, challenging, and then I used to like the dad's houses because I could TO and enter and have fun with that, but I get really. It's not healthy for me to enter online brackets. I get really angry. So like if you look at all the online dad houses, I entered like maybe like 4 of the 20.
Sure.
Just because I'm a shitty little salt lord when it comes to online brackets.
Yeah.
And that's why I prefer the online Melee, because I can't get mad in front
Or
of people.
offline?
Because otherwise
Yeah.
I'll get offline, because otherwise I'll get banned.
Yeah, man.
I need the threat of that to stop me from.
Yeah. I mean, I'll ban you if you want me to from online. But like Will
I'm trying to
called
be
me
responsible.
a stinky poopy Sheik main, and it hurt my feelings.
Is true.
Darnock, something about online. This man gets it. Joe does bring up a good point about LRAs that I forgot. Is that you had Frenzy pull up to one?
Oh yeah, I definitely
Yeah.
forgot about Frenzy. Yeah, he was there. I don't remember what he was there for. It was some Chicago tournament. I
Yeah,
think,
he
and
was
I-
he was
just
showing
happened
up.
to be like,
He was showing up for Hold That L, and he was just like stopping in Indianapolis. And yeah, like Rick took a set off him. I don't remember if Rick won the tournament.
Frenzy, if I remember correctly, Frenzy beat Rick in winners finals, and then Rick double eliminated
Okay.
Frenzy in grands.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
No, but yeah, so
Oh.
you had this like 7-foot European giant show up to your event. That's so
I
sick.
mean, I know that like Britain is in Europe, but I wouldn't call him European.
Sure, man. But yeah, so like a lot of heavy hitters. Famously, Zamu lost twice to Christian at that venue, and I think part of that is she was just like, yeah, whatever, I'm gonna go play ping pong. But
Yeah, the ping pong was a big draw there.
yeah, it's like it's a blessing and a curse where it's like people love going for it, but they will just not play Melee.
Yeah, I remember ping pong was big, and then one time Dreffin showed up and asked me to put on an OSU game, and I didn't know how the TVs work there, but I put on the OSU game for him, and he said I was the best TO ever. I still hold that.
Wait, that's sick. But yeah, so anyways, between the three, weeklies, monthlies, and online brackets, what was your favorite to TO?
The actual dad's houses, like
Yeah.
in the garage.
Okay.
Those, I mean, those were easy. They kind of ran themselves. Oh no. They kind of ran themselves, and I could drink at them too sometimes.
True.
I remember there was a time Torben had told me that she thought I was an alcoholic because she would only see me on Fridays, and every time she saw me, I was drinking.
That's a good reason. I would call you an alcoholic.
I remember. I think there was one time where I got like this pineapple gutter thing. I don't know what they call it, and I was making drinks out of like a actual like fresh pineapple, and I set it on a Wii at one point. And I was like, dude,
Ooh.
do not set a pineapple on my Wii. I was like, my bad.
Wait, that's awesome. Moving away from your TO life, as a player, why'd you choose Marth?
So when I was a kid and played with my brothers, which is how I got introduced to the game, I played Link,
That's right.
and
That's
when
right.
my older brother Jamal played Marth, and then my two other brothers played Falcos. And when I picked up the game again in 2017, I found out that Link was bad, and I didn't want to play a bad character.
Sure.
And I didn't know Marth was good at the time. I just knew Link was bad, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And I just wanted to play somebody with a sword. And I was familiar with Marth enough from my older brother, and so I didn't play. I didn't pick Roy or anything, and find out he was bad later, like even worse than Link.
Sure.
And it just turned out Marth was good, and I lucked out.
Yeah. So you put all this time into this character, and then he happened to be good at a competitive level.
Yeah. When I was pretty early on, I started in May. I remember in June, I went on vacation with Bree somewhere, and I remember I brought my GameCube to practice, and I was playing a lot of Falcon at the time because I was kind of torn early on between Marth and Falcon. But ultimately, I stuck to Marth and just play Falcon for fun.
Yeah,
Amateur brackets.
the birth of Mythic Hogan, for sure. Okay.
Yeah.
From Marth's perspective, what is your favorite matchup, and what is your least favorite matchup?
I'm playing my favorite matchup right now. I'm gonna play my least favorite matchup in about 20 minutes. Actually, I don't think Marth Sheik is my least favorite. I think Marth Samus, because I think Samus is a complete... So I love the Metroid games, but I think Samus as a character in Melee, it's fucking boring dog shit to play, and I'm sorry if there's any Samus mains listening. I don't hate you.
Your brother in chat. What the fuck?
Well, he knows this. And Cheddar can't even call himself a Samus main. He could be he played he never decided on me. He did the same thing he does with Melee with like every game where he like has to do a new build after like a couple hours.
Yeah.
He can't make up his mind.
Yeah. So something that Latin brought up, maybe even on this show, was Melee Samus would be so sick if Melee was a single player game. Like if it was like an adventure game, her movement would just be so good for something like that. It's just not interactive.
I don't know if I've thought about it to that level. I just think, God, I'm miserable right now. This sucks.
Yeah. I'm glad to hear that Sheik isn't your least favorite, because when I wrote that question, I was thinking you were going to say Fox and Sheik. So, I'll take that. What are your goals as a player right now? So, like in your history, you've been on Dad's House PR. You are currently on the Indianapolis PR. As a
real.
as a player, you're no slouch. You know, you've taken sets off players like Blitz, Lunar, Blogai, Icelink in the last year?
The Icelink set had to be like 2 years ago at this point, right?
I'm not sure. But all that to say, like you can hold your own.
Sure.
What are your goals?
I get lucky sometimes.
Dude.
I would like to get better, I guess. I'm on an official RuneScape break for the first time in like 2 years.
Yeah, you've been on it for a minute.
So I started going back to tournaments. And I think improving is something I'd like to do. I have to do. I think the hardest thing though about it is like I can sit here and I can practice like execution and stuff all day, but I have such like a hard time like fighting the urge to just do dumb shit like constantly.
I feel
And
you have the Unga brain, and it's so
I have the
sick.
hunger brain.
It's so
And
good.
when it works, it feels so good. And then when
Yeah.
it doesn't work, it feels so bad, and I feel so dumb.
It is really funny from a spectator like perspective. I think of all the players besides myself, you are probably one of the people that I've rewatched sets the most of. Just because you've asked me to, or because I'm like, hey, I want to see how Will did here, or like, hey, like, what were his thoughts here? How did this set go? And you can see the moment where you go from like meticulous, fluid movement to I bet this would be funny. Like I bet this would work.
Yeah, there are times where like I get panicky, and so I'll throw out like a shit option, like and there are times where like you can tell I know when my opponent knows because they'll just literally sit there and shield, and all I want to do is F smash, and they know it.
Yeah.
And I do it.
Yeah.
And I hate it. But there are other times where like I can like actually show some restraint, and it normally works out when I do that.
Sure.
But there are some times where I will just like throw out like a stupid option for fun. One of my favorite sets,
No, not the.
one of my favorite sets that I can think of is it was Dad's house. I think it was like 33, and I only remember that number. It was maybe 31. I don't know, but cause Silas Spin was there. It was like the first time he had ever shown up.
Okay.
And it was like 7. The tournament started at 7. It was like 7:30. I was already like fucking hammered.
Yeah.
And I just obliterated Freeman in bracket.
Dude,
and I was
come
just
on.
giggling like the whole time. I was so trash.
Oh.
And I just
That's
like that's the only thing I remember from that day, except just walking away from the set, and he was so pissed off, and I was just like,
Me?
yeah, it's a high pitched Scooby laugh.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you it's hard to be mad at you when you're laughing and beating my ass. Your laugh is contagious. Okay. Uh is there somebody that you are driven to beat right now? Who's on your number 1?
Probably Freeman.
Okay.
I used to pummel the shit out of Freeman. No offense, Freeman.
Sure.
And now he pummels the shit out of me, and it just
Feels wrong. It's like
I hate it.
Yeah. It's like, you know, like the as you got more into RuneScape, the me, Freeman, Pete, we kept going.
Look, I can only say it for okay. I can only say it for a little bit longer. Is that Freeman can win all he wants? I have a T-bow.
No. That's fucked up. But okay, so I think Freeman's a really good choice. It's like somebody who you probably still have the head-to-head lifetime, but it's like it's slipping, and so you want it to no longer slip.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like that.
Is there somebody who you are just not going to lose to? Talk your shit. And yeah, it could be you have been losing to them or whatever, but like, who are you not going to lose to anymore?
I don't like losing to Pete.
Fair. Okay.
It was the first tournament I came back to, which would have been sometime in October or November. Was the first time Pete beat me.
Mm-hmm. That was game 5, yeah?
Game 3.
Okay. Or yeah, it was game 3. Yeah.
And I remember after that tournament, I think I DM'd you on Discord. I was like, I have to practice again. I can't take this.
Okay. So yeah, no more losing to Pete.
I don't remember if because I really started grinding Marth Sheik specifically after that. I don't remember if I beat him the next set. I might have, and then no, because it was it was a Thanksgiving
You
thing.
did beat him at Thanksgiving.
So I think we played the most serious set that day.
Yeah.
And I beat him game 5, and then he beat me at a whatever it's called.
Yep. A fucking
Friday one.
There you go.
And then Sunday I double eliminated him at the Sunday one, and I think that was the last that we played.
So like not counting Thanksgiving, it's 2-2.
Yeah. I don't like playing Pete. I like Pete. I love Pete, but he is a Sheik main, so I don't like playing him. It stresses me out.
That makes sense. Yeah. Okay. We do have a guest question. Who is your greatest melee rival? Would you like the follow-up question before or after you answer?
I'll take the follow-up now.
Okay. The follow-up is, why is it Joey Icelink?
It's not Joey Icelink.
Look, man.
I don't really consider. So I took one set off Joe ever. I don't generally consider people that I view as not currently beatable to me as like a rival. I'm just like I just go into the set. It's bad competitive mentality, but I like expect to lose. So like I don't get upset if I lose, is what I mean.
Well, in the past 2 years, you are 1-1 with Joe.
Yes, and I think if we still played in bracket today, I might lose, and that's okay.
But you could win, statistically speaking.
I hate this game. It worked out. It worked out.
Okay. So you don't have a non-Joe answer to that question.
I don't know. I don't really think of it in that. So I break up people in my head as in like I expect to lose here, I expect to win here, and I don't like having anybody in the. It could go either way. I don't like it. I would rather go into a set knowing I'm going to win, or like I'm like historically, like I've never lost to this person. I shouldn't lose to them.
Sure.
If it's like. But if it's someone I've never that I like just get my ass handed to regularly and I lose, I'm not like, oh dang it, no.
Sure.
I'm just like, yeah, okay, and then move on. That's why I think that's one of the reasons I don't like playing Pete right now, is because he's in that like middle ground.
Yeah.
And I don't like it. It's uncomfortable for me.
Sure.
I like melee to be comfortable and not challenging. That's why I love amateur brackets so much.
Sure.
I'm like I don't have to. I can just like have fun. But like, yeah, I don't really think of like any rivals based on that alone, because it's just kind of like, I'd like to win. I don't think there's a. I don't know. I don't have a good answer. I'm getting into like rambling.
No, that's okay. We will call this one last game.
Okay.
And also hi Rocco. Yeah. So your rival is Joey Icelink. Got it.
Sure. Yeah.
I do have like one final like question / category, and it's unique to the guests that we've had on this show, and it is generational melee. You have a daughter who is now 7?
Yes.
7?
Yeah.
What has it been like to kind of teach her about the game?
It has been fun. She doesn't listen to anything I say.
Sure.
She down smashes.
I mean, that's a good move. Yeah.
All I'm saying is, I don't know what it is. Something with like what they put in the water these days, but I was way better at Smash when I was 7 than she.
Dude. Sure.
Maybe it's because I had older brothers who I played with. I also had 64 when I first started.
Okay. So like some similarities.
Yeah. But it's been fun. She likes going to the tournaments and stuff.
Yeah.
I sometimes I feel bad, like, oh no. And like I sometimes I feel like people are uncomfortable playing her. Because they're just like, man, I have to like it be like that sometimes.
Destroy a
You
kid.
can edit messages on here.
Yeah, there's,
Um,
there's more options now.
oh wow. And I don't know. I feel like there's it's just like maybe I'm just bad at like picking it up, but they almost seem uncomfortable. Like playing like they're like, man, I have to like not beast on this 7-year-old right now in front of her dad because otherwise I seem like a dick, right? Like if it were me, if I had to play Lila and Bracket, I would destroy her. Like I wouldn't pick a freaking Ness and humor her. I'd pick Marth and you know.
You do your job. I get it.
Yeah. And but she has fun. She likes it. She's a good sport about it. She doesn't get upset when she loses. She forgets to say good games, stuff like that. She doesn't understand stage striking still.
Sure.
She has fun with it. She wants to go this Friday. I went to the one on Sunday. She was upset I didn't go with her because she was at her mom's.
Sure.
But yeah, it's been fun.
Why did you let your flesh and blood pick Sheik?
Originally she picked Peach. I let her pick whoever she wanted. I didn't suggest. She asked who the best character in the game was. I said Fox. She said Fox is too hard, and I was like, I'm right there with you. And she picked Peach originally, and then she picked Sheik. She really sticks to. She played Marth for a little bit, I think, just from watching me play Marth.
Sure.
And then she proceeded to do nothing but down smash.
Not as good
yeah,
with Marth.
Her wanting to down smash really works if she plays Peach, and it works okay if she plays Sheik.
She could down smash if she holds the controller sideways.
You could.
That could work out. Cool. Yeah, I mean, I think that is something that's unique to you that we haven't had before, and I think that's a really cool aspect that, like, it's not like you have a child that doesn't understand motor skills. Because now you do, but you also have a 7-year-old. And it's cool that you can kind of experience that.
He's played with a GameCube controller. He doesn't really get it.
Sure.
I gave one of my spares one time. I was just like, here, just play with it. And I flicked the sticks for him, and he just like, he started drooling on it. I'm like, all right, give it back.
Maybe by the time he's 7, he'll be better.
Yeah, there you go. We will go ahead and rotate to the more section. Today's musical selection is going to be The Flaming Lips. All right. Without further ado, feel free, take it away.
So I'm more. Dad's house, while originally a melee tournament, has found a new home in Gielinor. What about old school RuneScape drew you to it?
I played it as a child, much like what got me into Melee. I don't seem to enjoy playing new games, apparently. I actually didn't even know old school RuneScape existed until I saw Abe playing it, and then I was like, oh, what? That's a thing. And I used to like splash on rats when I go over there on Mondays, and it slowly became a crippling addiction. And I like it because the number goes up, makes my brain feel good.
Yeah, in such cases. Sometimes the little man gets the level ups, and then I can feel good about me not getting the level ups.
So true.
We got a question from Ryguy Tim. Can we ask Dadmilk whose best win in a round 1 IUP weekly is?
Oh. I forgot about that. It would be Ryguy.
Oh. Good answer.
That's a good question and a good answer.
So your leagues was finished up a little less than a month ago. How did it go for you and your friends?
It was okay. I ended up. This is probably the league I actually played the least amount in because I got really burnt out like 3 weeks ago. It was really hard balancing that with with a new baby. We had a lot of good fun doing raids together, like TOB. A bunch of us picked like the Mauritania region, so we did TOB together. But sadly, I did not get top 100 this year. I only got like rank 250. But I think it's.
That in the past?
Huh?
Have you gotten top 100 in the past?
Last league I got rank 69. After it was 73, which was funny. RuneScape reference, but enough people like got caught for cheating and banned that it bumped me back up to 69, which is a reference everybody gets.
That's really cool. If you played Maple Story before RuneScape, would you be a weeb?
If I had?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know anything about Maple Story. I don't think I'd be a weeb. I watched a lot of like anime in like 7th grade, and I don't know what happened. I got out of it, and I am very fortunate to have gotten out of it. I think I wouldn't have been normal. Not saying the people who like anime aren't normal, but
just you specifically.
I obsess over my hobbies. So I would not have been normal.
That's tough.
Like that's like, you know, I started like watching Naruto on YouTube because the English dub that was on like Toonami or whatever was caught up, so I was watching it like with subtitles. I even made like I made AMVs. That's how like
that's so
gone I was, dude. And this was 2000. This was like 2007. What, 7th grade? It was 2006. It was like to like fucking like Breaking Benjamin and shit.
Oh
like,
yeah.
It was a very dark time in my life.
It's like Sasuke was breaking a habit, dude.
I remember I heard it in the car next to me today because I was taking my kid to the dentist, and she was like, "What's that music?" And it was Animal I Have Become by 3 Days Grace. And I kid you not, I did an Animal I've Become for Itachi.
Yep.
I did an AMV for that when I was like 12 years old.
I'm almost certain I watched an Itachi Animal I Have Become AMV.
I'm sure there were many. I deleted my channel when I was like 15 maybe, on YouTube. So there's no evidence. In fact, I shouldn't even be talking about it now.
Oh, I'm data mining. I'm finding this.
The computer that I made those on are long gone. YouTube doesn't keep their data that long. I'm good. It's all word of mouth now.
Speaking of covering the tracks, as a bit of a gamer, you've managed to 100% a few games. Aside from 30 Shades of Gay 2, what are some of the highlights?
I actually have not 100%. They added new content, and I'm not 100% on that anymore. I want to go back and get it, but it's just like Candy Crush with furries, and I'm not really. I didn't like the game. I got it because I was gonna stream it I streamed it in Discord as a joke. And I haven't gone back to do the new content, but I think they're coming out with a 3rd one soon.
Oh really?
Yeah, so maybe I'll revisit that.
Yeah, we'll have to play through the whole trilogy again.
I haven't played the first one.
Oh, it's like on outdated hardware or something.
I didn't get it. I only saw the 2nd one. I was like, okay, I'll get that. It's got Steam achievements. I don't play a lot of games. It's kind of like why I like RuneScape. Like number go up and I can do things and achieve things. And Steam games are kind of like the same. A lot of games I just won't play if they don't have achievements because I'm just not interested in doing something that I can't achieve something in. Like you can beat a game, sure, but like it's like I have nothing to show for it.
what does it mean if you don't get like a little golden emblem that says 1.8% completion?
Exactly. Like as a kid, I had always wanted to get all 120. I'd always done that as a kid. Like, I mean, Donkey Kong 64 is one of the examples of games where I 100%ed it as a kid. I always wanted to do Sonic Adventure 2 as a kid, but I never did on the GameCube. And it wasn't actually until I got it on Steam that I finally beat it and got all 180 emblems. And it was a Steam achievement to do it, so it made it even sweeter.
Yeah, you can display that
Yeah.
on your private Steam profile.
I think it is displayed on my private Steam profile.
So you've mentioned a couple times that you get into your hobbies and they make you not normal anymore. But back when you were normal, you had non-gaming hobbies. What were they?
I used to play guitar as a hobby. I started that when I was like 13. My mom got me one for my 13th birthday. And I used to play that. I took lessons and I had fun with that. It's similar to playing Melee in a sense that you have to practice a bunch of dumb shit you don't want to get good at it. So that has helped a little bit. Oh man. And I used to like well, I still like doing it. It's just really time consuming. But I liked doing stained glass, which is something I picked up in high school because I needed an art credit to graduate, and I took Art 1 as a senior with all the freshmen because I didn't take any art classes, and then I needed another one, and so I took stained glass, and I loved it. So after I graduated, I got my own like grinder and supplies, and I did like a bunch of like fun small projects. But I was like, oh, maybe I could sell some of these on Etsy for some extra money because I was like 17 with no job. I never got that far, but I think the last thing I made. It would have been when Bree and I started dating. So before I started playing RuneScape, before I started playing Melee, so it would have been 2016. And now the one stained glass store we had in Indy is out of business, or the owner's retired, so we don't have any. So even though I've thought about starting it up again, but like I don't have anywhere to get supplies from other than like maybe like random shit from a Hobby Lobby if they have them. I was really into video production. I don't know if I can call it that, but in high school, so AMVs, that may have been a precursor, but in high school I was in our school like news. Our news program, and I got to do all the fun bits. Like I didn't do any of the boring stuff like the weather. Except when I did do the weather, I didn't actually report the weather. I just did like a "It's Raining Men" bit.
It's pretty good.
And I really liked that, but that was something I had a lot of fun with more in high school. I didn't really it didn't carry out to like later in life, like things like stained glass or music did.
Sure.
That's about it. I don't know if I have ever had any other hobbies.
Those are some good hobbies. That stained glass one surprises me a bit. You don't strike me as a stained glass guy.
It's not bad. I never wore gloves. It cuts your fingertips a lot if you don't. But other than that, it's fun. It's like making it's like a puzzle that takes a really long time to make. So if you like jigsaw puzzles and cutting your fingertips, maybe you too can try it out.
I think there's a lot of people out there that's perfect for them.
Yeah.
So, as an infrastructure engineer, much of your company's productivity relies on your work. Is that stressful?
No, I don't think anyone I work with is gonna listen to this. I really don't like helping developers do their job. I wish that they would be less needy and understand that I can't drop whatever I'm doing so that they can do what they want to do. But yeah, it is stressful sometimes. I have broken many important thing, and it stresses me out when I have to fix it and I don't know how to do it. And if I broke it because of something I did, like it was like I thought this would fix another issue, then I just feel like dumb and then I feel bad. And I don't like to feel dumb or bad.
Yeah. That's
Uh, I think the worst I can actually say, like it was probably a month or 2 months ago. I actually like broke something that prevented all of like a bunch of dev work from being done because I took down like our job servers for like 4 hours. Like they had to do a whole incident channel about it. We had to do like a lessons learned. Like it might have been like the worst professional day of my life. And I've gotten fired before. Well, I got laid off, but like,
sure.
like I would rather getting laid off didn't hurt that much because we got bought out by a different company. We already had like 5 rounds of layoffs that I survived, so it was just kind of like, yeah, whatever, I get it. But like having like that many people like annoyed that they couldn't do their job because of a fuck up I did felt really bad. And then when it's worse when like management gets involved. Like if it's just like a little hiccup, they don't care. But I had like vice presidents like, what is going on? And I'm like, it's curtains for me.
It's so over.
It's not. It wasn't curtains. I'm still employed, but we did look at, well, maybe our systems are so dog shit that we should fix them so this doesn't happen again. And that's what we've been doing. And now it'll never be down for 4 hours again, hopefully.
So you were a force of positive change.
I was yes. And I will happily own that if that's how you want to paint that.
DX says the worst thing to happen to Will is being responsible for his actions.
It's true.
It's tough.
I miss when I could not be responsible for my actions.
Yeah, when you can be like 7 years old playing Melee.
Yeah.
That's
Didn't
nice.
have a memory card, so I should never turn it off, so I didn't lose Mewtwo. Like times were so simple.
I didn't have a GameCube, but I had a Wii, and I had a Spyro for it. It was a GameCube game, so we just never had a memory card. So every time we booted it up, I'd have to start over and see how far I could get.
It
But I
just
kept
turned
doing
off.
it. I mean, yeah, but I don't have full control over that.
Fair.
Speaking of 7-year-olds, what's it like being a dad?
It's cool sometimes.
Okay.
I would recommend parenthood for just about anybody. Assuming you have no problem having less time for your hobbies, less sleep, less disposable income. Otherwise, it's great. She helps with chores now. When she's older, she can mow the yard. So, like, it's really just, it's a long-term investment. And I just have to be nice enough that when she gets older, I don't get put in a home.
I would put you in a home.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, how hard is it for my family to put someone in a home?
What was that?
How hard is it to put like non-family in a home?
Are you saying how hard, or I'm sorry, I'm
Yeah,
not.
like Like if
It,
Mason really wanted to put you in a home in 30 years, like
oh,
how many back channels?
I don't think he could
I,
unless he had like maybe he needs like power of attorney or something. I don't know the rule. No one in my family has ever been put in a home. They have all died in their homes. Like
Okay,
almost literally.
okay. Well, that's
Like they're yeah. I think I joke with my dad about putting him in a home sometimes, but I don't think I actually
sure.
would do that unless like he was like completely senile and then maybe.
Sure.
But both like yeah. I would never give Mason power of attorney either.
That's fair. I might do it though.
but I might just like physically put you in a home. Like,
I mean, yeah, but like, surely I'll be able to like just walk out, right? Or even break my legs, I could crawl or wheel out.
we'd figure it out.
Yeah, well, we got at least 20 years before I'm old enough.
Yeah. Yeah. Comes faster than you think though. I've got a question from an anonymous source.
Okay.
Is Joe Icelink your best friend?
Sorry, Joe, you're not.
That's it.
I was actually I was thinking about this today actually about who my best friend was, and funny enough, it was like over a Discord conversation or something, and if anyone had asked, I would say Bree was my best friend.
Sure.
And for some reason, in this hypothetical conversation in my head, Joe was the one who said, "What? I'm not your best friend."
That's really good.
Maybe he is my best friend because I know what he would say.
That's what I'm saying.
Best friend and rival.
Yeah.
Best friend and rival.
I think deep down, like even Ash and Gary were kind of friends.
No, dude.
Even deep down, they grew up together.
Maybe blue and red. Ash and Gary. No way.
Dude, Blue is just Gary.
No, no, no.
Are they canonically different characters?
Yes.
I hate Pokemon.
What does Will think of the Flaming Lips Miley Cyrus tour?
Didn't that happen that was like almost like 10 years ago, wasn't it? Or is that like are they doing it again, or maybe I feel like I remember something about the Flaming Lips and Miley Cyrus. I don't really care. I'm not really like a Miley Cyrus enjoyer or hater. I probably wouldn't go even if the Flaming Lips were there because Miley Cyrus would just make it way more expensive. And so I'm okay with it, but I'm not interested. How about that?
Sure.
That's right. Do you think you'll play RuneScape and Melee forever?
No. So I like RuneScape, but it is detrimental to my life and health. So if I don't play it, it's better for me, but I just like playing it. It's kind of like I can't really, in good conscience, compare it to like other types of addiction, but you know how like you'll find someone who's like a drug addict and be like, but don't ever start. Like that's kind of how RuneScape is. Like if I don't start again, then I'll be fine. But if I do, that's over for at least another year. My wife really hates RuneScape. She doesn't like that I play RuneScape. The fact that we've made it while I play this much RuneScape is honestly a testament to how amazing of a partner I am otherwise.
True, dude.
I have to just make up so much for my RuneScape addiction that she stays with me anyway.
Are there any other games you think could like reach that same level of time in your life? Like, where you care about it that much?
The only game that ever came close was Guild Wars, which I played as a kid when I was like, it was off and on in my teenage years. I played it a little bit as an adult. Actually, I played it again while I had started playing RuneScape, because I was AFKing some skills for, I think, the Achievement Diary cape on my main back in like 2018, and I was playing Guild Wars on the side again because Guild Wars has titles, which you get for doing various things. And I was working on some of those, and I never finished. I have like 2 or 3 more. But I think I have my total account in Guild Wars is like 2,500 hours. So probably my 3rd most played game, behind RuneScape and Melee. But the problem is like Melee is more like dynamic because I can play against opponents who do different things every time. RuneScape gets content releases. Guild Wars is stagnant, so like it just doesn't have the same draw that it did, you know, when it was getting content.
Right.
I don't even remember how long ago it was. Over 10 years at this point.
Yeah, I mean, Guild Wars 2, I got when I was in 7th grade. And
Guild Wars 2 came out after I graduated high school. How young are you?
I'm 24.
An old head.
You're not even 30.
I'm almost 30. My half birthday's coming up.
Younger than Mason.
Isn't Mason like 24?
Mason's 30 according to Purdue.
But yeah, I don't know if another game would ever match like the draw I get to RuneScape. And to answer the question concisely instead of a long rambled response.
Sure. I love how much you up tilt and dare.
He's a dare fiend. People tell me that I dare a lot.
Do I up tilt a lot?
You're playing sheep. No, I think you just up tilt like in a row a lot, mostly because it works. But I think a lot of people like stop up tilting and they can just get a little more out of it if they did.
I see that sometimes where I guess where I'll spam up tilt. I guess like if someone's under the platform, but it's just like, what else am I gonna do? Like nothing? Up air? Like no, that doesn't work for me. Normally I'll get like you'll drop fucked on for it, but like I don't have to worry about that with Mason.
Dude. You gotta worry about this 0 to death,
Yeah.
bitch.
Is that 0 to death?
Yeah.
Oh. No.
We will call this last game.
Okay. I don't know what it is. I feel like I think about it in friendlies and tournament. I think I like become dog shit my last stock, and I don't know what. I mean, that one was just kind of I was just chatting, but like I was thinking about it the other day because I was playing Freeman in friendlies, and just every time I was on my last stock, I was just like everything I wanted to do was falling apart. I'm just like, why does this happen? And it happens in bracket too. Like I just don't get it. I mean, it's probably like nerves or something or whatever. But like, I'm like, these are friendlies. I shouldn't be getting nervous.
Yeah, I think what is it, the fiction tweet that's like if everyone played their last stock like it was any other stock, they'd be better. I forget exactly how I phrased it. It was in some fiction way that I couldn't possibly comprehend.
He really does have a way with words.
It really does. But yeah, it's tough out there. You start thinking about how like you fuck up one more time, you might just lose.
I think it especially happens if I'm coming back from a stock lead, or like I had a stock lead and I get down to my last stock and I'm like, yeah, I fuck up and it's over, dude. I can't.
Yeah, you just start doing too much math and not enough melee.
Yeah. Instead
I
of
think-
melee, you start doing more. It's just.
Yeah, I think a player-specific thing for me is I start to get desperate, and I throw out like the same 2 options when I'm desperate. And I think most people who know my playstyle and habits take full advantage of that. Isn't that right, Mason?
I would never.
All I know is that I can tell when we play friendlies and I get a lead and you start leaning in. I can tell.
I would never.
Oh, you're supposed to attack me there.
Oh, true.
I believe in this.
I believe in the comeback.
Oh, I wasn't even watching the stocks. It's over for me. I can't do this.
Nah, you got it.
Nah, no.
Mason's got arthritis. He can't kill.
Alright. Oh, excuse me!
I'm not even gonna chance it.
Good games. Alright. Will, you have been so much fun to have on the show. I appreciate you coming on. As always, with somebody that I am already like good friends with. I am surprised when I learn something new, but I always do. So it's cool to dive a little bit deeper into your life. So thank you for that. Do you have anything
welcome.
going? Do you have anything going on in your life that you would like to announce?
Did I hint at anything that
No.
you're fishing for, or you just at? Okay.
Oh, is there something to be hinted at?
I mean, nothing crazy.
Hmm?
I think I'm officially getting promoted on Thursday.
Let's
That'll be
go.
cool.
Nice.
But despite, pissing off important people like a month or 2 ago, they're like, no, you're still okay.
Sure. Okay. Well, as always, you do get to pick one player of your choice, and we will pay for their entry to anyone weekly. So, who are you picking?
Actually, I was thinking about this earlier, and then I ultimately decided I didn't know who, and I was supposed to think about it later, and I didn't think about it later.
So now you're on the spot.
Yeah, now I'm on the spot, and I'm trying to think. I probably would give it to. I pick one person.
One person.
One person. Okay. I don't. See, in my heart, I want to pick Joe Icelink, but I feel
Yeah.
like even if I pick him, he's still not going to go to a weekly.
He has already been picked. I would let you
Okay.
pick him again had he already used his first one.
But he hasn't used it. Okay. Hold on. Give me one second. Let me check. What's on my list here? You know what? We'll give it. Has Lunar been picked?
No.
Then I will pick Lunar.
I think that's a good pick.
Yeah.
I think that's a very good pick. Alright. Well, this has been Melee and More, The Return, with Acid.
And Dalbull.
Looking at you, Will. You gotta close it out.
And Dadmilk.
Thank you guys so much. You have a great rest of your night.
Thanks for having me. Bye.